PacSun, it's a mall-based retailer. We have 330 stores, and e-commerce penetration is slightly below 40%. And we actually are the lifestyle brand for the Gen Z consumer. So we had the small boutique order management system on premise, but it was very, very simplistic. So it did not handle ship from store. Basically, we were shipping just from a central DC, and our e-commerce volumes were increasing. The system, while in the initial period, I think it worked okay, but it just did not meet our needs. So one, our internet strategy is to move to the cloud. We really wanted to minimize our reliance on on-prem systems. So basically what we liked about Active Omni is we can implement it, and of course, Manhattan has upgrades constantly going on, and we could actually take advantage of those upgrades. Secondly, we really knew that we had to move from just shipping single e-com out of a DC to an omni-channel strategy, which would include ship from store, include things like BOPIS, local delivery, etc. And we knew that we needed a piece of software that was flexible enough, and as we grew, would basically meet our needs. When the COVID outbreak happened, it was a shock to our system. Business is tough enough, and then here's this pandemic coming, and this is basically new ground. And we obviously wanted to survive for our employees and our shareholders, so we became very, very nimble. So all the stores closed. And in our DC, we had problems because we were afraid of COVID outbreaks. And the other problem was, were we going to sit there and have stores closed for 3 months, open them up, and have a bunch of old season merchandise that we would have to get rid of? And actually, we had just implemented Manhattan's Active Omni, and it was a savior here. Basically, it enabled this whole strategy we had during COVID, and without it, we couldn't have done it. So we implemented ship from store literally in 2 weeks, trained people remotely, and had one person go in the store to social distance and ship e-com orders. And we were literally shipping 40,000 units a day out of the stores, and that provided liquidity during COVID. And when the stores opened up, many retailers had problems. They had aged inventory that was sitting there and that they had to dispose of at a markdown. We didn't. We were clean, and we had to chase inventory. And as a result, we saw some of the best margins in our history. Ship from store, quite literally, saved the company, and I don't say this lightly. And then what happened in COVID is the actual freight companies, the FedExes, UPSs, these guys, their networks all got congested, and they didn't always meet SLAs. And we had some problems because coming into Christmas and holidays, basically the customer wants to get it before Christmas, but we couldn't really guarantee those deliveries because we didn't know if the shippers could actually meet those SLAs. So we decided, well, let's implement local delivery. Integrating in Active Omni, we have things like Lyft, DoorDash, Uber, who actually in a local market can deliver same day. So we put that in, which we were actually very excited about. If we can ship from a store that's in proximity to the customer, those customers can get the goods in 1 or 2 days. So we've actually worked pretty religiously, tuning the parameters so we can actually minimize the distance in shipping. And that does two things. It actually lowers our shipping costs, but more importantly, the customer gets it faster and it's a better customer experience. I'm a former CIO, but I realize as retailers, we're in business to basically sell goods. We're not in business to actually develop software and focus on technology. Now, of course, it's an enabler, and it's the most important enabler that we have in the business, but we basically want a footprint where we don't have to actually spend a lot of money upfront on CapEx. And when you have on-premise software, you have to schedule costly upgrades, which take time and it takes focus off the business. When you're on the cloud, especially if you have a good cloud provider, those new features come and you can take advantage of them very quickly. Because in today's environment, it's extremely competitive. And basically, the faster we can be and the more reactive to the market, the more successful we're going to be. And looking at the market, we think that Manhattan Active Omni is the best-in-class order management system out there. And I think we did the right thing. And we're very satisfied with it.